So in this lecture, what we'll do is we'll have a look at a few of the typical questions which were asked in 2025 board papers. The topic that I have selected is trigonometry. It will be a good idea to have a look at this lecture also, where I have discussed the complete roadmap for the board papers. So let's start with the trigonometry questions. All of these are good questions. It will be a good practice to solve these questions. So let's start with the first question. So the first question is 7 cos²θ plus 3 sin²θ is equal to 4. So all of these questions, remember, they were asked in class 10th board papers 2025. Now, if I have a question like this is a 1 mark question. Then what I'll do is, the easy thing is 7 cos²θ can be written as 1 minus sin²θ plus 3 sin²θ is equal to 4. So 7 minus 7 sin²θ plus 3 sin²θ is equal to 4. So minus 7 sin²θ plus 3 sin²θ would be equal to minus 4 sin²θ. And we have 4 here. So 7 minus 4 is equal to 4 sin²θ. And sin²θ would be 3 upon 4. Therefore, sin theta is equal to plus minus root 3 upon, because sin²θ is equal to 3 upon 4, therefore sin theta would be equal to root 3 upon root 4 would be 2. Sin theta is plus minus root 3 upon 2. Now in class 10th CBSE syllabus, we don't we only study the angles which are from 0 to 90 degree. So you can ignore the negative sign and we'll focus only on plus root 3 by 2, and therefore theta would be equal to 60 degree. This is a good question. Basically, these are part of trigonometric equations. When you go into class 11th PSE, you're doing these. But they have put a question in class 10th also. Again, the next question. Again, see, this too is a trigonometric equation question. So tan 3 theta is equal to root 3, then theta by 2 equals. So what we need to figure out is, okay, let me simplify this. If I ask you tan alpha is equal to root 3, what I'm asking you is which angle alpha will give the tan as root 3. Now if you remember that alpha is 60 degree. Why? Because tan 60 degree would be root. Yeah. Now this 60 degree is equal to this 3 theta. I hope you are able to understand this. The whole of this 3 theta would be equal to this 60 degree. Why? Because see, let's look at this again. We are looking at tan of some angle. We are looking at tan of some angle. And tan of that angle should be equal to root 3. So what should be that angle? That angle would be equal to 30 degree. And that is why theta is equal to 20 degree. So as you can see, these are very typical questions, and my guess is that if you haven't done questions like this before, find it difficult the paper to do the question. This one is fine. All that you need to do is you need to put the value of tan 60, cosecant 30, tan 30. You need to find the value. you will find a fraction or a number. 4k would be equal to, and then you can find the value of k. So this is a simple question, so I'm skipping it. Let's go to some other interesting questions. Because in this lecture, my intention is to present typical questions to you. So the next question, how do we do it? We can do this by hit and trial. So what it implies by hit and trial is basically in all MCQ questions, wherever you are facing any difficulty, what you do is you try to put each of the answer in the equation. So let us try this. So tan 2a implies 2 twice of 90 degree is equal to 3 tan 90, tan twice of 60 degree is equal to 3 tan 60, tan twice of 45 degree equal to 3 tan 45 degree, tan of twice of 30 degree is equal to 3 tan 30 degree. Now, see there, one is that this is a trigonometric equation. So you don't have the formula for tan 2a. So that is why you are substituting. Now there is another difficulty in this question. The difficulty for a class 10th, I'm saying particularly for a class 10th CBSE, class 10th CBSE student. So, a typical CBSE student won't know the value of tan 180, won't know the value of tan 120. So in these two parts, I'm talking about a typical student. So a typical student won't understand the value of tan 180, tan 120. He or she won't know. But if you come to part C and part D, so part C is tan twice of 45 degrees. So tan twice of 45 degree is tan 90 degree is equal to 3 tan 45 degree, and a tan of 60 degree is equal to 3 tan 30 degree. So what I'm saying is, for some time, let me not focus much on part A and part B, because I don't know in class 10th I don't know the value of tan 180 and tan 120 degree. I'll go to part C. When I look at part C, I'm aware of the values of 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degree, and 30 degree. Now tan 90 I know is infinity, and this is tan 45 degree is tan is 1, so this is not equal, infinity is not equal to 3. But if I look at part D, so tan 60 degree I know is root 3, and this is 1 upon root 3, and root 3 and 3 cancel and I get root 3. So my answer would be D part. Now this is frankly, I like this question for a simple reason. There are 2-3 learnings which you can have in these kind of questions. One is that for MCQ questions, what you can do is you can try to use the values which are given, A, B, C, D values which are given. You can put it in the question, and it can be any kind of question, and try to find out what would be the right answer. So this is learning number 1. Learning number 2 is, even if you think that you don't know, so for example, if you had started, even if you think you don't know the value of tan 180 degree or 120 degree, what you see is that anyways you didn't require that, because the correct answer is the D part, where you knew the values. You knew tan 60 is equal to root 3 and tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3, and you got the right answer as D. So, my suggestion to you would be that, rather than getting anxious at any of the question which is being asked in the exam, if we, have a sort of positive frame of mind and we just go through the question, we go through the question till completion, we might actually find the right answer without any trouble. So that is why I find this question pretty good. So let us look at the next question. Which of the following is true? Sine 20 degree is greater than sine 70 degree, sine 20 degree, cos 20 degree, cos 20 degree, cos 70 degree, tan 20 degree, tan 70 degree. So, there are two ways in which you can do this question. One is that, the tables, you can look at the tables. The tables that are provided in the board exam. So they have the logarithmic values, they have the, ask for tables from the invigilator. So if you look at the values of sine 20, sine 70, sine 20, cos 20, so you can make out, you can put the, you can look at the table, you can find out the values and you can make out. That is the first way. The second way, and the suggested way is that you should know the graphs of sine, cos and tan. You should at least know the graphs of sine, cos and tan. So I know that in CBSE they don't teach the graphs of sine, cos, tan, but there's no harm at looking at this. There's a second thing which the CBSE students class 10 suffer is that the trigonometry is limited to 0 to 90 degree. So that is the second thing that CBSE students, most of the CBSE students are think that the trigonometry is limited to from 0 degree to 90 degree only. So let me show you the graphs of sine, cos and tan. So this is how the graphs of sine, cos and tan look like. So see, so from 0 to 90 degree, if you see the sine of graph, the sine graph is increasing. From 90 to 180 decreases, 180 to 270, it is negative. 270 to 360 degree, again it is negative. But the value of sine is between 1 and minus 1. So it increases from 0 to 1, from 1 to 0, from 0 to minus 1, from minus 1 to 0. So this is the this is how the graph of sine looks like. Let us look at the graph of cos. Cos looks something like this. So we will limit ourselves to 0 and 360 degrees. So this is how the graph of cos looks like. So from 0 to 90, the value of cos is decreasing. From 0 to 90, it decreases from 1 to 0. This is 1, this is minus 1. The value of cos is between 1 and minus 1 only. So 1 and from 0 to 90, the value of cos decreases from 1 to 0. So from 0 to minus 1, from minus 1 to 0, and again after 270 degree, it increases from 0 to 1. This is how the value of cos looks like. And if we look at the value of tan graph between 0 and 360 degrees, so from 0 to 90, it increases from 0 to infinity. From 90 degree to 180 degree, this is how it looks like, and this is how it looks like. So you should have, what is suggested is that if you are trying to score 100% in the CBSE class 10 maths, these are the kind of things you should take few of extra steps to understand these kind of things. Of course, you will be learning these graphs in class 11th. But if you're one of those students who actually want to score 100% in class 10th math CBSE, these graphs are important. You can look at any of the videos. I also have a lot of videos. I'll put a link also. So you can look at the graphs. So I won't go into the details, but the second way in which this question can be done is, so sine 20 degree and sine 70 degree. So you know that sine 20 degree would be less than sine 70 degree if you understand this graph, because you understand that sine is an increasing function. So 20 degree would be, let us say, somewhere here, and 70 degree would be somewhere here. So looking at the graph, we can make out that this answer is true. But let us look at the other parts also. So sine 20 degree is greater than cos 20 degrees. So the interesting question, sine 20 degree would be, this is 90. So this is a 3 parts. So this would be 30, 60, 90. Sine 20 would be somewhere here. And cos 20 would be somewhere here. So you can make out then that sine, the value of sine 20 degree would be less than the value of cos 20 degree. I hope you are able to understand this. So this would be wrong. If I look at cos 20 degree, cos 70 degree, again, Look at the graph and you will get the answer. Cos 20 degree is greater than cos 70 degree. So cos 20 degree would be somewhere here and cos 70 degree would be somewhere here. So it is a decreasing, cos is a decreasing function between 0 to 90. So that is why this would be incorrect. Tan 20 degree is greater than tan 70 degree. Again, if you see 0 to 90, tan is increasing. So 20 degree would be here, 70 degree would be here. So this would be wrong. I hope you are able to understand. And again, I suggest that, if you plan to score 100% in CBSE class 10th maths, it is suggested that, you go at least 10% beyond the syllabus which is given to you, at least 10% beyond. Okay, so let's look at the next question. Question: sin a plus cosec a whole square plus cos a plus sec a whole square is equal to x plus tan square a plus cot square a. Again, this is one of the questions that you won't typically found in a CBSE textbook. So, but it's not to worry. It's a simple question. All that we need to find is the value of x. So I take the left hand side. So I open the expansion sin square a plus cosec square a plus 2 sin cosec. I haven't written a, that is understood. And cos a plus sec a whole square would be equal to cos square plus sec square plus 2 cos multiplied by sec a. Yeah, so a is understood. I have skipped a. Now let us closely look what is happening now. So this is sin square a and this is cos square a. So sin square a plus cos square would be 1. So this 1 is here. Now look closely at 2 sin into cosec a. So sin into cosec would be equal to sin into cosec would be equal to 1. So that is why if this part is 1, then only this 2 remains and this 2 is here. Similarly, if you look at 2 into cos into sec a, this would be equal to 2. So this has disappeared, this has disappeared, this has disappeared, this has disappeared. Only cosec square a and sec square a remain. I can write the cosec square a as 1 plus cot square a, and I can write the sec square a as 1 plus tan square a. I hope this is making sense. Now let us look closely at this. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7 plus cot square a plus tan square a. Now this 7 would be equal to this x. Why? Because this tan square a plus cot square a, this would be cot square a. So this cot square a plus tan square a is equal to this tan square a plus cot square a. So the value of x is equal to 7. I hope this makes sense. And that is why it is suggested that you should always try to do the past papers, because you'll find a variety of questions which are asked in the board exam. This is from 2025 CBSE paper. So let's look at the next question now. Cot theta plus cos theta is equal to P. Cot theta minus cos theta is equal to Q. Prove that P square minus Q square is equal to 4 root of PQ. So what I've done is I've taken the left hand side first, P square minus Q square. And I've written the P square minus Q square as a P plus Q and P minus Q. So I've taken the left hand side first and then I've put the value as P plus Q into P minus Q. Then I put the values of P and Q like this. So this is the value of P, cot theta. The value of P is cot theta plus cos theta plus Q cot theta minus cos theta, P minus Q cot theta plus cos theta, and minus Q. Minus Q would be minus cot theta plus cos theta. And then when I solve the two brackets, see, remember that they are both of these are between brackets. So there's a multiplication sign here. Don't forget that. So this cos theta and this minus cos theta cancel. So this is cot theta plus cot theta would be equal to 2 cot theta. This is the 2 cot theta. This cot theta and this cot theta, this would be 2 cot theta multiplied by the second bracket, the second term. So cot theta plus cos theta minus cot theta plus cos theta. So this cot theta and this minus cot theta, they cancel. So this is cos theta and this is cos theta. So this would be equal to 2 cos theta. So this is the 2 cos theta. Don't forget about this multiplication, about these two terms. So this would be equal to 4 cot theta cos theta. 4 cot theta cos theta. So this is what my left hand side equals to. This is what my left hand side equals to. So p square minus q square finally is equal to 4 cot theta cos theta. Now let me look at the right hand side now. In the right hand side, I will take root pq. So root pq, again I put the value of cot theta as value of p as cot theta plus cos theta. Value of q as cot theta minus cos theta. I have skipped q. I have skipped writing theta. Please take care of that. So this is a plus b. This is a minus b. This a plus b into a minus b would be equal to a square minus b square. Cot square theta minus cos square theta. So cot square theta, I write this as a cos square upon sin square. This is minus cos square theta upon 1. So I have taken cos square, done factorization. Cos square I have taken outside the bracket. So 1 upon sin square theta would be equal to cosec square theta minus 1. Now 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. So cosec square theta minus 1 would be equal to cot square theta, and that is written here. So this term root pq basically would be equal to cos theta into cot theta. Cos theta into cot theta. And because the right hand side is 4 root pq, this right side would be equal to, will boil down to 4 cos theta cot theta. Now let us compare this with the left hand side. My left hand side was equal to 4 cot theta cos theta. My right side is equal to 4 cos theta cot theta. So my left hand side and right hand side are equal. That is why I proved that this is equal. So you should have sort of stamina to do these kind of questions. These are difficult questions, and that is why it is again and again suggested by your teachers and everyone that you should do the past paper so that you get the idea of typical questions which are asked. Let us look at the next question now. It is a bit simple question. If sin A is equal to y, then express cos A and tan A in terms of y. So, see, the trigonometric ratios that we do belong to right triangles. So, sin A is equal to y implies that sin A is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Yeah, this is the 90 degree. This is angle A. So, this y would be the perpendicular, and this 1 would be the hypotenuse. Now, if I apply Pythagoras theorem, so 1 square would be equal to y square plus base square. So base square, this is the base. So base square would be equal to 1 minus y square, and therefore base would be equal to 1 minus y square square root. So basically my base is equal to root of 1 minus y square. Root of 1 minus y square. I hope this is making sense. So trigonometric ratios that we do belong to right triangles. And you have to understand that which angle is A. So this is my A. So this is my perpendicular, this is hypotenuse, and this is a base. Now I can write cos A as base upon hypotenuse. So cos A would be equal to root 1 minus y square. And tan A would be equal to perpendicular upon base. So this is the perpendicular. And this would be the. So I hope this made sense. Good question. No questions like So let us look at the next question. If sec A plus B tan theta is equal to m and B sec theta plus A tan theta is equal to n, prove that A square plus n square is equal to B square plus m square. So, what I found easier was because I had the value of m and I had the value of n. There might be other ways of doing this question also, but what I find easier was, what struck me at that time when I was doing the question was that let me find the value, let me keep m and n on the one side of the equation and a and b on the other side of the equation. So if you look at this, what I have done is m square minus n square would be equal to a square minus b square. So I have separated, a square minus b square on one side and m and n on the other side. So what do I do? Then I substitute the value of m and n in the right hand side of the equation. So the value of m is a sec theta plus b tan theta whole square minus b sec theta plus a tan theta whole square. I have skipped the theta. You'll have to take care of that. So then I open the expansion. This would be a square sec square theta plus b tan square theta plus ab tan theta. Now you have to take care of this minus. Don't forget about this minus, because this is where maximum of the students make mistake. So this is minus b square. This is minus a square tan square theta. This is the term that I have written here first. You will understand why. Minus b square sec square theta minus b square sec square theta minus 2ab sec theta tan theta. I'm repeating, please take care of this minus. This is where the maximum number of students will make mistakes. This minus is this due to this minus. Now you will understand what I have done. Now if you group these two, a square sec square theta minus a square tan square theta, I can write this as a square is common, so sec square theta minus tan square theta. B square tan square theta minus b square sec square theta, again I take b square as common. So this is b square tan square theta minus sec square theta. And this ab sec theta tan theta minus ab sec theta tan theta, this will cancel. ab sec theta tan theta and minus ab sec theta tan theta would cancel. This would cancel. So we rub it from here. Yeah. And so sec square theta minus tan square theta. I know that 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. So sec square theta minus tan square theta, sec square theta minus tan square theta would be equal to 1. And tan square theta minus sec square theta, tan square theta minus sec square theta would be equal to minus 1. So this is equal to minus 1. So a square minus b square. So this is a square and this is minus b square. So this is the answer of my right hand side, because I started with this. And let me compare this with the left hand side. Of course, this is equal to left hand side, a square minus b square. So I hope this was useful. This exercise was useful. We did a lot of typical trigonometric questions, and you should look at the playlist for other questions also. And I also have made a playlist for, I also have made a video where I have discussed the strategy for CBSE class 10th boards, how to go through the syllabus, etc. You should have a look at this also. And hope this was useful.